The hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp has almost 12 billion views on TikTok. Hashtags related to abortion have less than a third of that. On Law and Crime Network, which I own, average daily viewership is up 50 times higher than it was before the trial on YouTube. We're seeing about 1 million viewers each hour on that live stream. I certainly wish we had that many viewers on this show. Heard's been under cross-examination this week, and the internet seems largely obsessed with picking apart possible inconsistencies in her testimony. Here she is being grilled by Depp's legal team about alleged injuries she said she sustained when Depp hit her, she said, during their relationship.
Your nose doesn't appear to be injured in any of these pictures, does it, Ms. Heard?
That's why I'm wearing makeup.
Right. And makeup covers up swelling, right?
Makeup will not cover up swelling. Ice will, though.
Joining me now is Jeanette Levy, host and correspondent for Law and Crime Network. She's been covering the trial from inside the courtroom. And Jeanette, thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. All right, so this trial has become sort of a phenomenon. Is it all Johnny Depp fans there and all people who hate Amber Heard?
I would say yes, Dan. I've met throughout this trial, and I've been here. This is my third week now. Jesse Weber and I have been splitting it up, and I've met only 2 or 3 people who came here to support Amber Heard. The rest of the people that line up at the courthouse at 1 a.m. and sometimes earlier to get wristbands to get into the courtroom are hardcore Johnny Depp supporters, and they are willing to camp out here. They are camping out in chairs, sitting here all night long, waiting to get in. They line the street behind the courthouse each day as Johnny Depp leaves the courthouse. They cheer, they chant. So it really has become really a phenomenon, as you said, and almost like a movement. It's very interesting. I mean, we've had alpacas. Johnny Depp made a remark about Disney and alpacas and the Pirates of the Caribbean series. We've had people showing up at the courthouse with alpacas. So it's really been something to watch.
And this case, as we talked about, has kind of been blowing up the internet. Is the same sentiment being offered overwhelmingly against Amber Heard and for Johnny Depp in all of the comment boards, discussions, et cetera, online?
I would say there are, I kind of live on Twitter, right? Especially covering a trial. I'm on Twitter a lot. And I see a lot more responses to my tweets from people who are supporting Johnny Depp and people who are following me who support Johnny Depp. Of course, there are accounts who support or claim to support Amber Heard who are following me as well. But it's overwhelmingly in support of Johnny Depp. And one thing I think is really interesting, Dan, I tag people, like when I post on Instagram and things like that, and on Facebook. When I first started covering this trial more than a month ago, there were about 12 million people who followed Johnny Depp on Instagram. That number is now, I think, around 17 million. So it went from 12 million, and then it ticked up to 15 million, and now it's like up to, I think, around 17 million the last time I checked. So his following has grown. How legit all of those accounts are, I don't know, but I've been told that there are a lot of celebrities who haven't been following Johnny Depp because he basically was canceled in Hollywood, who have now started following him since this trial began.
And that was the whole point of this lawsuit. The whole point of the lawsuit is to get Johnny Depp back, and it seems, whether he wins or loses, that he succeeded in that. Let me play a little bit of the cross-examination today. This is number 5, and this is the question of an injury that she'd had on her face, and Johnny Depp's lawyer is trying to suggest that she manipulated the photo to make it look worse. Let's listen.
Ms. Heard, you testified yesterday. This is also a photograph of you from the same night, correct?
That is correct.
You testified yesterday that the only difference between these 2 photographs is that the light was turned on.
That's what it appears to be, yes.
The light is on both of these pictures, though. Isn't that right?
It looks to me like the one on the left has the vanity light, the makeup lights, you know, the more yellow-hued ones that go around the mirror on, and then the one on the right looks like it doesn't have those.
Isn't it true you just edited these photographs?
No, I've never edited a photograph.
Didn't you just enhance the saturation for one of these photos to make your face look more red?
No, that's incorrect. I didn't touch it.
All right, so this is the sort of cross-examination we're seeing. But what I've found interesting is, you know, I talk to people who I wouldn't think are following the case that closely. people who
Right.
I didn't think were Johnny Depp fans or care about Amber Heard. And I'll be sitting there talking about law and crime and say, oh, look at all these people who are following. And they'll start citing statistics. Oh, well, what about when he said this and she said that? And it's like, whoa, you're actually following this case. And when I look at the numbers from social media, were you surprised at how much more interested the public seems to be in this than the abortion ruling or than inflation?
Well, obviously, inflation is something that affects all of us, right? But this is also a distraction. Also, I've read polls, Dan, that show that people aren't as concerned. Like, abortion doesn't get people as fired up as it used to. At least I've seen some polls out there that say that over the last several months. But I think this is captivating because we've been told for years now that Johnny Depp did this, that he is an abuser. And now we have audio recordings where that's in dispute and where Amber Heard is essentially saying to him, challenging him to tell the world he is the victim of domestic violence. Yeah. She is saying this on tape. And he said, yes, I am. So we've all been told this for years. He lost the libel trial over in the UK. Now, throughout this trial, his story is being told. He said this is the first time he's been able to tell it. So I think it's captivating. Yeah. It's the Hollywood aspect of it. It's the domestic violence aspect of it. And the fact that we've been told for so many years one thing, and maybe it wasn't totally true.
I get it. It is definitely fascinating. I'll tell you that when I watch the Law and Crime live stream, I'm captivated, but I remain stunned at how many other people are as well, because, again, I'm going to make the sort of typical comment people make. You would think there are other things out there that are more important, and there are. But it is a phenomenon, and Jeanette Levy, you've been doing a terrific job covering it. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
It is primary. Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.